Live from the Raw Live Production Studio, it's True NFL with Frankie J and T.O. And here's your host, Frankie J.
I am Frankie J, and with me, as always, is the one, the only, the ugliest, T.O. And we're going to talk about last week's crazy scores, the upsets, the victories. We're going to talk about what's trending, injuries, and a whole lot more, along with our predictions for next week's games, or this upcoming week's games. And we welcome you back to True NFL. T.O., we're back. We made it another week. What's going on? What's happening in the 716?
Lot going on. Lot going on here in the 716 with this big game coming up. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but why don't we do this? Why don't we get to what we usually do before we get to a show, and we'll let you start off with what we like to call here on this day.
All right, like we always do at this time. 1973. I wasn't even a thought.
Nope.
Those were probably better days. But 1973, O.J. Simpson
Whoa.
carried the ball 39 times and ran for 157 yards, putting him over 1,000 yards at the 7th game mark.
How many games did they play? Wasn't it like 13 or something like that?
He finished with 2,003 rushing yards that season.
No, but how many games did they play
16.
in the season?
Didn't they play 16?
I thought it was less than
15.
that. Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Still amazing.
Amazing. Right now, the leading rusher right now has 850 yards, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, week 8.
So, yeah, put that in perspective. What a great running back we used to have.
Yeah, definitely. Is that your only on this day? Wasn't much going on?
No, not really. I thought that was big news for the Bills here.
Yeah, well, considering the Bills are coming off a huge win, which we'll definitely talk about. But first and foremost, I'd like to start our show off. We do on this day. Thanks, everybody who's been subscribing, watching, sharing, liking, commenting, all that stuff. We do thrive on that wherever you're watching. If it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, feel free to drop a comment. We will see it. And we'll definitely bring you on as part of the show with the comments. Secondly, Eric Mangold, T.O. Eric Mangold, longtime fan favorite Jet, unfortunately passed away at the young age of 41 from kidney disease yesterday. I'd just like to send my condolences out to the Jets team and all the Jets fans and the family of Eric Mangold. It's too soon to go, and it's a horrible disease to have. So I wanted to start off by saying that. Show a little emotion for me.
Yeah, Rex Ryan sure showed a lot of emotion during his talk about Mangold, and man, what a man's man he was. Yep. It touched me, like that story where Rex said Mangold was injured. He missed the last couple games, and Rex knew he was about to get fired. They all knew it, and he went up to him and he said, "Coach, I'm going to suit up and I'm going to play for you this game."
Oh,
even
choking up.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me goosebumps. It's just what a great person, and a sad thing, but you know, the Jets willed together a victory for him that week.
Yeah, you have to agree that that's probably why they played, out of spirit for that. But hell of a player, played on a good Rex Ryan team. Well, a couple of Rex Ryan teams, and he showed up. He showed up to play, win or lose. It didn't matter. He did his job. He got paid to play his favorite game on the planet, and despite losing, he kept at it and stuck up for his coach till the end. So it tells you what kind of guy he is. So hopefully he's resting in peace. I'm certain he is. And why don't we get away from the emotional stuff, because I'm not a crier and I don't want to tear up live here. That'd be kind of weird. Let's talk about Scadaboo, the one that we thought was going to be huge for the entire season. 8 weeks in, done. Possibly, I'm going to say my opinion, so nobody jumps on me and says, "Oh, it wasn't reported and that's not facts and you're fucking crazy." I have to say this. It's an ankle. His style of play, it could be a career ender. It really could. He could be the 8-game wonder.
100% career altering. I'll give you that. It could be ending. Very well could be. But you don't bounce back from an injury like that when your ankle's dangling off your foot like that.
Oh, God. And he was sitting there holding it. I was like, holy God. and they say it's dislocated. Dislocated? I mean,
That was a bad dislocation. The bone went through.
that's a pretty bad friggin' location. I think it's broken. I think they're just starting to use different verbiage to describe, or different adjectives, excuse me, to be correct English language. I think they're starting to use different words to make things not seem as bad. Like he has a compound fracture, but now it's a dislocated. So they can have that chance of potentially bringing him back maybe too soon most times. So they're trying to get rid of the career-ending injuries. The only ones that seem to be career-ending or season-ending at least are those of an ACL, MCL, those kinds. But this one, they didn't want to go that far. So that's just my opinion, though.
He's got a long road to recovery, and
Jeez.
we don't like to see anybody get injured in the show. And
I like that.
he was the heart and soul right there of the Giants, but they still got Dart.
Yeah, shit happens. It's the NFL. It's a very physical league. It's one that, and this is something I'll bring up. A lot of people think that these players get paid way too much money. Are there some cases where they do? Absolutely. There's sometimes like the Deshaun Watson contract. Let's face it, his whole 200 whatever million dollars was guaranteed. How stupid. There are stupid salaries out there. But what a lot of people don't realize, Tio, and I know you do, is somebody, oh yeah, they just signed an extension for 80 million over 3 years. That's not a guaranteed 80 million. That's an up to $80 million contract. NFL contracts are, I think, one of two sports that are not guaranteed full contracts.
Not always.
They're just not. So these guys, and a lot of you got 53-man roster, and there's a good 40 of them just getting league minimum or just a little bit more. They're not getting these millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to go out there and beat the shit out of themselves. They're just not. So it's a very physical game. It's people running at each other full speed, banging on each other, getting tackled, getting bruised up, going home, probably not being able to move for 3 days, 3 nights, taking a bunch of Vicodin, pain pills, whatever, and getting back at it next week. So it's not, it's my feelings on that. It's a very physical game, and injuries like this unfortunately happen, and you can't blame them all on turf. I think that one was more of a someone fell on him kind of thing, but I don't know.
I mean, with his style of play, if anybody thought he wasn't going to get injured, then I don't know what you were watching. The guy went after it.
Well, I think he already has CTE. There's no doubt. And I don't say that in a funny way. I just think the way the guy plays, he's head down, straight ahead, and that's not always the safest way to play. That's not how you protect yourself. But he's a lunatic. He wants to make the team. There's just some players out there that want to make a team so bad that they're going to go out there and just put it all on the line, sniff it, hit a box of smelling salts and go out there and be, completely apeshit. And that's what Scadaboo did. That's what he brought to the Giants. He brought the right attitude to the right city. And unfortunately, he's going to be sitting the rest of the year. And I think maybe if he does come back, he probably will come back. If he does, he's going to have to tone that down a little bit and become a little bit more human when it comes to game time. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are if he comes back, he's going to come back to the same player he was, and he's going to do it again. He's going to try. He's not going to change. I just don't think that the ankle will hold up, but they could do miracles these days, so we'll see.
Ankles are tough. I was just at the orthopedic today getting my ankle looked at, and it's been since the beginning of July since I injured my ankle, and I still have problems with it. And, it's just the way it is. Ankle is a major part of your body. Just it's not like a thumbnail. It's your ankle. It's how you walk. It's how you move. It's how you pivot. It's how you push off. It's everything to a running back. It's everything.
I don't even think he wasn't even as good as their other running back, I don't think.
No, so we'll see what happens with the Giants this week. But we had a couple other things that we wanted to talk about too. The referees, how bad are these referees getting? I'm going to let you go on your rants because you do pay more attention to that sort of detail, more so than me. Shoot.
With all this stuff going on with this illegal betting in the NBA, this every referees getting, I watch baseball and I look at their replays and I'm like, why can't everyone get it like this? Like the Major League Baseball gets it, where you're watching it, you can see it clear as day. There's just too much wiggle room for officials and the NFL to make up whatever the hell they want. And I don't like that. It ruins the integrity of the game. You go out there like last week. What is this virtual replay? And when the hell did that happen? Virtual replay. Virtual replay just came out of nowhere. I saw last week. I never heard about that. Then you're watching Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Guy goes, they're not making regular calls. I don't understand. Like this refereeing shouldn't be that bad. I'd go as far as saying they need to do referee school or something, or to teach these people. So, because you got to at least get the easy calls right.
I can't disagree with you here. I've been saying this for a long time. If you recall, I don't know how many years ago it was when they had the replacement referees. They were better than the referees that we have now. And the problem is these referees are not full-time employees. They do have a union. They do work for the NFL. However, most of them have day jobs. They have week jobs if they're not refereeing games. And it goes by seniority, just like a union job would. So I don't think they spend enough time really focusing in on, like, the football players. They go to practice all week. They have meetings. They watch film. They study. They don't have they have what I guess you could consider an academy. It's called a football organization, a franchise. The referees don't seem to have anything like that except training camp. They'll participate in the training camps and, during drills and stuff, and they'll call penalties and they'll get themselves ready for the season. But do you really call that a referee training camp? I guess that's where I got to get confused.
No, they need to put together some kind of academy where referees can go. I think it's better for the players too, to have good referees out there and everything. It's better for the game. They're making calls, they're blowing calls. It looks like stuff's fixed. They're going, then the NFL fires them. What are we supposed to think here? That these games are real?
And I used to argue with you about this a lot, that the games were fixed, that it was a narrative, it's sports entertainment. I used to argue with you, but ever since this season started, and I think I've been pretty clear on this, the outcomes of the games are sort of weird. The teams that should blow a team out don't. And I'm going to say this. Me and Roger are going to have our little talk later, Goodell and me. I've been saying this. I said this first before any of the sportscasters said this. I said right after the games were over on Monday night, I said, wow, every game except for the Bengals-Jets game was a double-digit blowout. Every one of them. It was a week where you could literally get up during any game. I watch the Red Zone when the Bills aren't on. You could get up during any game you're watching, go make dinner, have dessert, go outside, smoke a few pipes, come back in, and your team or the team you're watching kick ass is going to be up by another 3 touchdowns. It wasn't any sort of like close games. Everything was just so lopsided. And out of 12 games or 14 games, how many teams were on a bye last week? Either way, one game, Jets Bengals, came down to 1 point. The worst game ended up being the best game of the week. Because why? The Jets won, and I think they won. I think that was an Eric Mangold thing. I believe in all that destiny thing. Things happen for a reason. They had to win a game. I mean, you can't. There's only been only a few teams that have gone 0 forever. I think it was the Detroit Lions, actually. But the Jets had to win a game. Justin Fields looked like a quarterback. The team played. They put points up, over 30 points, if I'm not mistaken. And they got their first win of the season over a struggling Bengals team with a plug-and-play Joe Flacco. So, I mean, that game could have won either way, but it was the closest game of the week. What's your take on those games?
It was an odd week of football this week, to say the least. And I like I said, with the referees and everything, I don't know what to make of these games anymore. I really honestly don't. I as a fan, want to believe, even though you know my take on this for a long time, because when you label your league sports entertainment, that allows you to not be in trouble for certain things that take place down the road. And I don't like that, because with all this gambling, with all this stuff, it makes it way too easy for a referee, a player, to take money and just degrade the game, is the way I want to say it, because that's what you're doing. You're defacing the game. And once you do that, you start losing people, and they need to fix it. They have to fix it, because if not, more people are going to wake up to this. Because as you know, you were a denier. Now you're starting to sort of see the effect that sports betting has on the thing, and it's never going away. It's been there. It's always been there. This is not something brand new. Um, a lot of people have known this for a lot of times, and they just do a very good job of burying it, like we see in a lot of the world today, where they're burying the real news.
I will say this, and this is something I did say a while ago. In fact, I think it was actually a couple years ago on our previous podcast that we did, the Raw Live Show. I had this issue with these online betting companies, and I made the comment. And I don't know if you remember the episode. I sure as hell don't remember the episode, but what I can tell you is this: is there was one point where I actually said the words, "Don't be surprised if players and coaches and referees start getting involved with this, and not necessarily on their devices. They could have a neighbor's friend of a friend of a friend take care of an account for said referee or said player." There's ways around everything. There's always someone that has their hands out, and now they're going as far as saying that the mafia is involved with these betting. And I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it came out in basketball, but don't be surprised here in the next month or two if it doesn't blow up in the NFL with all these gambling apps. And the thing is, players are allowed to participate on these betting apps, just not on their own teams or their games they're playing in. That's a problem. There should be no Pete Rose couldn't get into the Hall of Fame for baseball, banned for life. He gambled, but now it's allowed. And nothing. And all they did is big investigation and just figured it out. I mean, come on, man. These betting apps killed everything, and the point spreads in Vegas. You know how many people got rich last week? I mean, they get rich every week, but with the lopsided scores, the double-digit blowouts, and the close game with the Jets and Cincinnati, and then the stupid play calls, it just seems bizarre to me. It's just a weird league. I love football. I will always watch football. It's my favorite sport on the planet. But I'm starting to become a believer that the game is fixed to a certain degree. It's I don't know if they can fix it completely, but they definitely drive the narrative.
It's definitely massaged.
Yes, that's a good word. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
With Diddy Oil, or is it not that far yet?
I don't know if he was betting on football, but
probably
the
was.
game is massaged. It's always been. It's always been. You look back at the day when they're talking Joe Namath throwing picks and he's doing, it's been happening. It's always. And what you have to do when it happens is you need to punish those people so badly
that no one does it again.
The person doesn't want to do it. That's the only way. Is to stop people, because there will always be somebody who's going to try to do it. You look at old plays, Calvin Ridley giving up on plays. Now you start questioning everything that ever happened. You know what I mean? Like, when does it end?
It makes you wonder, were the Bills 4 Super Bowls, did they really lose all 4 of those Super Bowls? The first one especially, why did the K-Gun offense just all of a sudden break down? Bill Belichick was like 19 years old and defensive coordinator. He wasn't the genius that he is, that he was 30 years later. So, Bill Belichick ran the defense. That's why the Bills couldn't do shit. Okay, but they were the Bills in the 90s. Nobody could beat them. We didn't lose. If we lost, it was a tragedy. It was like a tragedy in the city if the Bills lost a game. But they lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. It makes you wonder, going back that far. And there was no smartphones then. There was no apps. There was no internet. So was there payoffs going on then? Probably. And it ruins the integrity of the game. It really does. I think it ruins the integrity of the game. I absolutely do. Sure. I don't think you want to say sports entertainment. Go ahead. Great. It is entertainment. It is sports. It is sports entertainment. It's not fake wrestling, though. Wrestling isn't fake. The physical part of it is not fake. Those guys beat the living crap out of each other. They're landing on a wrestling mat, plywood, and they are physically taking a beating. Let's face it. But it is a narrative. There is a script, and they follow it, and they make $1 gazillion. Is that where the NFL is going, and they're controlling as much of it as they can as far as the narrative? Because they still got to get out there and say, hut, green 18, hike, and throw the ball and make the plays. So it's kind of confusing to me right now. I'm kind of like on the fence of, do I like this league? Do I not like this league? I'm always going to watch it. I love the Bills.
I like the drama. I like the drama of the NFL. I like how it's one game a week. I like how the stories build as the week go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I get caught up in it just like everybody else. So I'm not. I don't want to be a hypocrite, even though I often am. But,
You're more than
but
that.
I mean, it's in front of my face. I can sit here and pretend it's not there, or I can smile and laugh at it and go on to next week. And that's what they bank on. They bank on people like us.
Yeah.
Just, hey, yeah, we did it right in front of your face. Look at, I mean, just watch some of the games closely this week. And you're like, what is that call?
Yeah.
And that call leads them down a road. Like the other week, there was a call on someone challenging a first down or something, and the referee makes up his own decision, not even on the spot of the ball, but he says something else happened over here, which caused, that's not allowed. You can't do that.
Oh, it was when the judge that was on the other side of the field made a call, and it wasn't even his call to make. You know what you're talking about? Yeah.
Well, that's the one where they took the ball right out of Hurts's hands, and then they said it wasn't, like, we can't even get the tush push right. Should they take the game out, play out of the game? I don't think so, but at least get the calls right on it. We can't even do that.
Oh, I thought they put that little electronic chip in there this season that was supposed to help with ball placement, to know where that ball is, and to be able to have almost like X-ray vision through the pile to see if that ball did cross the plane. We haven't seen any of that, though. It's in there. They keep saying when the ball goes into the crowd that they have to go switch the balls out because they have those microchips in the ball. It almost makes you wonder, are these balls remote controlled? All these missed kicks and block kicks, are they, hitting a button to make the ball change fucking direction? When you never know. I mean, they got wires and cables hanging everywhere. They got cameras throughout the stadium. There was that one kick that was blocked by a wire in the London game last week, and they're saying it wasn't, when you can clearly watch the replay and see the ball going straight and all of a sudden taking a sharp right, like a Jamaican hurricane wind gust came through and took it. Come on. They hit a wire. You can see it hit the wire from the goddamn camera. They should have they should automatically get those points, or at least get a re-kick. And they played it off as, nope, that was just a missed kick. So the referees, I think, are more involved. If anybody's in on the take, it's probably the referees, because they aren't making nearly the money the players are, and they only work 1 day a week. They don't have, 12. I mean, they don't work 12 months a year. They work 6 for the games. So they have to supplement their income. Are they on the take? Are they being threatened? Are they being, hamstringed by the mafia? Who knows? I just know that this past week made me really get a little more mindful of what we're watching, what product is on the field, what product's on the field, what company is putting the product on the field. I think Roger Goodell, I do this every week. If you're listening, you need to get a grip, buddy. Okay. You need to get your hand on the pulse with the NFL. You need to stop worrying about all these international games and maybe creating a team in Orlando, Florida at Disney. You got to get a grip. Okay. You can't even control the games in the US, and you're more worried about going to Madrid or Brazil or London or Tokyo or France. Get a grip. Get these referees trained up. If they make a mistake, suspend them, fine them like you would a player. When there is a bold mistake, and there's video. And another thing I noticed too with the referees, and then maybe we can get away from this topic because it certainly kind of gets to me, is when they make a call and they're getting ready to place the ball and the next play is going to start. All of a sudden, New York calls and reverses the call. They can't. There's got to be some sort of time limit to where that rule can come into effect. Like New York has 15 seconds from the point of the play to decide if they want to take a deeper look at it. But you're holding the games up. You're reversing calls that are obviously touchdowns or obviously not touchdowns, or first downs or not. It's really that bad.
It is. I think baseball's the only game that got the replay correct.
And they made the bases bigger. I just
split
noticed.
decision. Split decision. They watch it. They're done.
Yeah, they don't mess
We're
around.
watching it. There's 13 different reasons of why it could go either way. And it's just basically up to the ref's discretion. You need good referees. There's a penalty on every play. We don't call a penalty on every play if we're a good referee, because that penalty happened over there where it has nothing to do with where the play's going. We don't throw that flag. That's what I'm talking about. So we do that the whole game. There's going to be a penalty every play. Somebody's holding something. You know what I mean? Like they could.
There's always holds. There's always illegal blocks. The biggest thing that's been kind of ticking me off with these penalties lately is these formation penalties, like lined up in the wrong formation or they're not on the line of scrimmage or whatever. Like I've never in my life I've been watching football over 40 years. Never in my life have I heard as many penalties as I have heard this year about illegal formations or or a blocker too far downfield or whatever. The name of the game is to advance the ball. If a right guard or a right tackle gets off his block and he can run ahead and block the next guy in the second level, why is he not allowed to get out there ahead of the running back? Because the running back got to be. It's just a lot of these rules are giving these referees a lot more leverage, a lot more luxuries of throwing the stupid flags.
Yep. More flags, more control.
It's not fair to the game. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to anybody that watches this game.
And it only gets worse. There's always a game there in the playoffs where people are like, they shouldn't have lost that game. It was the refs. Always.
Every year.
Every year.
It always seems to be certain games, certain teams, certain refs too. To me, I just, in baseball, they call a balk on a pitcher. That play that Pat Mahomes pulled off last week where he went up and tried to draw the defense off and this shit never works, blah, 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 blah. That should be some sort of like penalty. I see when he got up and started going toward, to me, that's a form of a balk.
Oh, he can move all day.
Well, he can, but isn't there like a certain degree of cadence that isn't allowed?
No.
If like the center's head comes up too many times or, there's rules to it.
There used to be when that one quarterback would do it real hard, remember? And then they used to call him for something.
Who was that?
Way back in the 90s? I don't know, but somebody would do that.
I think I know who you're talking about. We'll have to research after next week.
But as for him getting up to the line, walking back and saying this doesn't work, and then walking up saying, "Hike, no, nothing wrong with that."
See,
genius.
I kind of disagree with you on that. We can agree to disagree. So we'll just blink that one for now. The Miami Dolphins. What the hell happened with them last week? Did Dan Marino go down into the locker room and have a little spiel with them, a little TikTok? Did they have a team meeting where everyone showed up on time? If anybody out there watching the replay even has a comment on this, definitely feel free to drop it. I just think they got lucky.
Yeah, I think we giving way too much credit to the Miami Dolphins. I blame Atlanta Falcons for completely shit in the sheets.
Sheesh. Is that what you call it now?
That's what I'm calling it. Kirk Cousins looking like grandpa out there, not knowing what the hell's going on. And Tua had one of his good games. He has good games sometimes.
Yeah, what's up with Tua? How come he is? I've never thought Tua was a good quarterback. I have this thing with left-handed quarterbacks to begin with. Secondly, it always seems like he doesn't have any power. It doesn't seem like he has any zip to his throws, and he has a hard time throwing the long ball. Yeah, it just seems he can't throw the ball deep.
Good left-handed quarterback has an advantage because he can hide the ball on a play action, as we saw with Boomer Esiason, who is the play action king. You have that chance of hiding the ball a little bit better when you're lefty. He's not a good quarterback.
He's just really not.
He's not. He's average, right? I mean,
well, figures. I think he's below average, actually, considering the salary he's pulling in. And thankfully, like I said earlier in the show, it's not all guaranteed money. He's not going to get that full contract. There's just no way. I don't see him lasting another year. Like he'll play next year and probably the year after in Miami, but his years in Miami are numbered. He'll be out of Miami before his contract's up. They paid him a ton of money after last season when he had, great success. They had a good team. They were actually a dominant force in the AFC East. The Dolphins were a team to fear at one point. Then something happened. I'm not sure if the locker room fell apart. They got too cocky. It is Miami, South Beach. They like to party. It's a different environment of that in Buffalo. What happened? I mean, there's a lot that could have happened. Did they just get sick of the geek head coach, the Caprice? Did they get over his nonsense, his dancing around with them and having weird post-game conferences? There's so much that could have happened to that team. Is he embarrassing? I'd be embarrassed if that was my coach. How do you feel?
Well, he's going to get fired. How would you feel if, I'm going to throw this out there, How would you feel if he got fired and came to Buffalo as the offensive coordinator?
I wouldn't want him here. I wouldn't
No?
want him anywhere near the organization. Nope.
Okay.
He's too
I
weird.
just wanted to see where you're at, because he supposedly he has a great offensive mind, which
Good.
we know here in Buffalo our play calling isn't stellar. We'll say that.
It's not, but you don't want that clown coming into the building. I think he ruins everything.
Okay.
I think he had his heyday. He had his coaching chance. I don't see him getting hired ever again as a head coach, ever.
That's
Maybe
what I
a
mean.
coordinator.
Coordinator.
Like Robert Saleh. Do you think he'll ever be a head coach again? No. Why would he? He failed miserably with the Jets, got fired really for no reason. It was all out of his control. They just fired him because they didn't like him. And there's conspiracies on why they fired him. I won't get into any of that. That's not really what this show's about. But at the same time, once these really, 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 really amazing coordinators go and get a taste of coaching and the amount of stress that's added on, they think twice about wanting to go back and coach again. That's what happened. Excuse me, with Josh McDaniels. Goes off, tries to coach the Broncos, sucks. Tries to coach the Raiders, sucks. But he goes to New England as the offensive coordinator and wins a ton of Super Bowls. Some people are not meant to be a head coach. They're just not. And that's what happens. Look at, Ben Johnson, his struggles earlier on in the year with the Bears. They offensive genius, Detroit Lions crush people. You can't just take a great coordinator, pluck him out of a city that's been dominating, and pluck him into one of the worst franchises in the league and think he's just going to turn it around. It doesn't work that way, and a lot of people are fooled by these amazing coordinators, and I'm not. Look at Daboll in New York. He was an offensive coordinator for the Bills. He's really the one that kind of sprung Josh Allen into his career. He got him, leveled him up, matured him a little bit, and then it was handed over to Joe Brady. But look at him now. He's fighting and coaching for his life every week. He's hoping that the ball bounces his way, and it doesn't always bounce his way. And that's because he's not a head coach. He's not. He's a coordinator. What's your take on that? Do you think a really good coordinator deserves a chance to be a coach, or do you think coaches should be coaches and coordinators should be coordinators?
He deserves a chance, because you got to go up in the ranks. You got to give him a shot. And if it doesn't work out, it's on that guy to realize that and say, hey, I can more serve this team or the team I'm on if I'm a coordinator instead of a coach. But you're not going to get that, because money talks.
Bullshit walks.
But I think they deserve, if you've been in there and you're a coordinator and you're moving up the ranks, there has to be some kind of a rank, like any work place, there has to be something to shoot for. So yeah, I think it's an okay thing. They deserve a shot. As for him coming to Buffalo as our offensive coordinator, I'm not too sure. I'm totally against it. I can see people's arguments for not wanting him here, but with Josh Allen, with what he can do with tight ends, and we have a good one. I want to believe. I don't know. I'd be open to it. Because we can't get much worse. What'd you say?
Okay,
can't get much worse with a quarterback like Allen, correct? He's going to win you games.
He's gonna win you games. He's primed to win now. I just feel if you bring a Mike McDaniel here, he switches the whole damn offense around and makes it his and tries to make it his little toy box, therefore maybe pushing us back a season or two. I don't like switching coaches. I don't like switching coordinators. If something's not broke, don't fix it. I don't think we're broken yet as a Buffalo Bills organization. We might disagree on that. There's those people, and I put a post up, the Bills lose 2 in a row, and everyone wants to fire this person, fire the coach, fire this person, fire everybody. It's like they lost 2 games in a row since the year 2017 every season. Relax. People. They're still winning. They're still in second place in the AFC East. They're a playoff team. They're going to be in the playoffs. Why are you going to fire everybody? Why? Because you're a fair weather fan? Because you're not a real fan? Did it suck to lose? Does it hurt to lose? Yeah, I don't like watching a Bills game and watching them lose miserably and to a team we should beat. No, it sucks. I hate it. But you can't just say fire everybody. When I worked, I had a bad day at work. If I was to get fired every time I had a bad day, I wouldn't have ever worked. I had a lot of bad days at work. Well, fire me because I had a bad day. That's stupid.
How many chances you give him? A lot, right? He's earned a lot of chances, correct? We have a lot of wins, right?
The most since Marv Levy, if not
we
more.
Just unfortunately continue to run into the brick wall.
I think that changes this year. I have this, I believe in the Bills every year. You know that. I just think right now, they're putting a couple pieces in place. We got our couple guys back from suspension on defense. We'll talk about that game real quick. The Bills game when we played Carolina, we had Michael Hoyt back. He was just an absolute beast for missing the first 6 weeks of the season and coming in and just being an immediate impact. On the downside, we lost Ed Oliver probably for the season, maybe even part of next season with torn biceps. I mean, that's both of his arms. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty damn hard to come back from. And your biceps are pretty damn necessary in the NFL. But we brought in, Okunjobi. He's back in now. They activated Jordan Poyer. Do I think Jordan Poyer is the best? No, but is he better than maybe Trey White? Maybe a little bit. Is he better than Hamlin? Definitely. More experience. And they're starting to work Gabe Johnson out. Gabe Johnson was one of Josh Allen's favorite wideouts. He had 4 touchdowns in that one Kansas City game, didn't he? And
Gabe Davis,
yeah, excuse me. They got him practicing again. Do they have a plan? Do they bring these guys out and maybe throw people off? I don't know. We don't know. I think we put up a 40 burger against the Panthers, who were 4-3. They weren't the worst team in the league, so it wasn't like we beat the Jets. We beat a 4-3, 4-2 at the time. Carolina Panthers team that had beat the 49ers, had a couple good wins. So we went down, we traveled, we came out of the bye week, and we showed some stuff. James Cook, over 200 yards rushing, crazy touchdowns. Josh Allen was Josh Allen again. We had a couple of good passes. Our defense was bananas. So what happens this week? I mean, we'll have to go over that when we go through our, predictions. But the last game I wanted to talk about last week, and only pick a couple because I don't want to sit here and go through them all. The Green Bay-Pittsburgh one was one of the most popular games of the week. The Jordan Love, the Aaron Rodgers, the revenge game, even though, it's not a revenge game. It's just a game. I have all kinds of love for Green Bay, even though he didn't have any love for Green Bay. And Jordan Love beat him. I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was a great game. I liked that it was close until the end. I liked a whole lot of that game. And I liked that Jordan Love was able to beat Aaron Rodgers prime time. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers is a piece of crap. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's an asshole. He can't even tell people he's married. Oh, that's my personal business. Then don't wear your damn wedding ring when you're playing football, jackass. If you want to keep things secret and private, fine. But you have a wedding band on, buddy. You don't think the reporters are going to ask you if you're married? Oh, it's none of your business. It's my private life. The guy makes no sense. It's like he took one too many hits of acid. What do you think, Tio? You love him.
I do. I love Aaron Rodgers.
Why do you love him? He's such a dick.
I grew love for him during the COVID nonsense because he was talking common sense.
Yeah, but so you love him because of politics. Fair enough.
Yeah, as a quarterback, he's got the most third down touchdowns. He's got the most. He's got the most a lot of things. I think he was a great quarterback. I think he's still a good quarterback. He just lost his mobility. He used to be able to run around, a little bit. Wasn't a great runner, but he sure was a good runner. Yeah, and he lost that ability. And that's what you're seeing right now.
True.
Can he lead a team to victory? He sure can. Is he a diva? Yeah, sure.
A little bit. For being an oldster, he's a pretty damn big diva. So, anyways, yeah. So why don't we do this? We're already running out of time. We only got about 5 minutes left. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go through our picks for the week and let people know what we think as far as the games coming up this week? And to those of you that are listening live, definitely feel free to drop comments on who you think will win or will lose.
Yeah,
and,
I want to know.
Have a friendly competition with us. Be part of the show in that way. But we'll go real quickly through these. We don't have to spend too much time on them. We start Thursday night. Tomorrow night, Baltimore goes into Miami. Lamar Jackson's back. Dolphins coming off a huge 34-point game. And Miami's going to be at home with McGenius, McNerd, whatever Rex Ryan likes to call him, Capri Boy, whatever. I took Miami in this game only because of that. They might get 2 in a row. I took Miami at home. What do you got?
Baltimore.
Okay. Then we got Chicago marching into Cincinnati. I am a Joe Flacco fan. I still think he's got some juice in the tank, not physically able to run as much, but you give him a little bit of time, he can slice and dice through a Chicago defense. So I took Cincinnati at home. I think you would take Cincinnati at home too.
I got Cincinnati too in this one, even though I like Chicago.
Yeah, I don't dislike Chicago. I kind of feel bad for him. And then Minnesota going to Detroit. I called this one on NFL, the other show we do over on Lock 22 Productions, excuse me, on YouTube. Definitely check that out. T.O. and I are on that show as well with Dames Marvs. I called this my trap game. I did pick Detroit to win at home, but Minnesota, as wacky as this league has been this year, as we've been talking about the whole show, it could happen. Minnesota could go to Detroit and beat them.
I'm going to take Detroit.
We both took Detroit. So now we got Carolina coming off a huge loss to Buffalo, going to Green Bay. I would have called that my trap game, but Green Bay to me isn't as good as the Detroit Lions. So for me, I took Green Bay at home. Jordan Love, got a Micah Parsons, and it's Carolina at the end of the day.
I'm taking Green Bay.
Okay.
Taking Green Bay.
Green Bay, eh? That one's for Gobo. Anyways, LA Chargers visiting Tennessee Titans. I don't think we need to spend much time on this. I think Tennessee should just move. They should be the team that goes to Orlando. Yeah, we take the Chargers both on the road there. And then Atlanta going to New England, the red hot New England, 5 in a row. Mike Vrabel, Drake May, Stephon Diggs being able to talk shit again and be cocky, which bothers me. I can't wait to play them in December. I took the New England Patriots at home. Falcons kind of didn't look too good the last couple of weeks. They got Kirk Cousins, unless Penix is back. If Penix is back, then they got a better chance. But they're at home. I took New England. I think you took Atlanta in this one.
I did. This was my upset of the week here. Atlanta.
Okay, so that'll be your upset game. All right, then we got the Niners, the banged up, always beat up for the last like 3 seasons in a row. 49ers going to the Giants with no Scatterboo. We all know about that injury, like we said earlier. Sad but true. Do the Giants come through and prevail, or do we take the stats, the facts, and know that McCaffrey is going to run the ball over them? I took the Niners.
Niners.
And this is the game. I want to call this maybe the most interesting game of the week, the most interesting 1 p.m. early window game. Let's say that. Indianapolis visiting Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, bad taste in their mouth, losing to the Green Bay Packers, prime time. You got the red hot or blue hot Indianapolis Colts coming in 7-1. Do the Colts lose? Do they lose this one? I took Pittsburgh at home. I think. Okay.
You know why?
Go.
Steelers fans are pissed.
They are.
Steelers fans are pissed. And I think when that happens, they're kind of like us. They rally and they get the job done against a team that is pretty dominant right now. And then you're like, oh, the Steelers really that good? And then they'll go out next week and lose to some schlep.
Some schlep. You said schlep.
Some schleppy team.
Anybody out there listening? Is that even a word? Schlep. All right. So, okay. Moving on. We got the Denver Broncos, who've been pretty hot lately, visiting the Houston Texans, who came off a pretty big win last week, which was very unexpected. I take Denver. I still think Sean Payton is one of the premier coaches in the league. I took Denver in this one going against Houston. Houston at home. I think CJ Stroud sucks. You picked Houston.
Yeah, everything you said was true, but I'm taking Houston and their defense to upset Bo Nix in this one.
All right. Well, that's what you got. Now we got Jacksonville, locks of love. Pretty boy Trevor Lawrence going to Vegas. I took Jacksonville just because Vegas is that horrible. They just don't have it together. I thought Pete Carroll would be a really good fit for the Raiders. I just don't think he has a great quarterback right now. Geno Smith, doesn't fit the scheme. I think their marriage is over. So I took Jacksonville, and I think you took Vegas in this one.
I did. Because you know why? Because the NFL is tricky, and everything says that the Raiders should not be able to run on Jacksonville, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Okay, fair enough. Then we got the New Orleans Saints visiting the LA Rams, who are being very quiet this year, if you want to call it that. Quietly winning games. Devontae Adams goes over to London, gets a bunch of touchdowns. Puka Nacua returns this week, and you got Matt Stafford, who's still chucking the ball around the field. I took the Rams at home. New Orleans, they're on their rookie quarterback who's getting literally thrown into the wolves, if you want my opinion.
Yeah. Give me
if
the
I was to-
Rams. The Rams
right.
are my NFC Super Bowl pick, I think.
Rams. Okay. Wow, that's weird. Okay. We're going to wait to pick the Bills one last. So we're going to skip over. Seattle goes to Washington. Now, Washington, Jaden Daniels, not sure if I think he's still going to be out. Anyways, Mariota backs him up. I am going to pick Seattle because Sam Darnold, they're winning games. They're hot right now. Their defense is playing lights out. That was an easy pick for me. Washington's at home, but I think that they're just a big hype. And I just think Jaden Daniels is going to be injury prone for his entire career. So that's why I took Seattle. And I think you took Seattle too.
I'll take Seattle. Washington's hurting.
Yes, they are. Washington's hurting all the way around, right? No pun intended.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Anyways, we'll skip ahead to the Monday night game. Arizona with the bobblehead quarterback. He's back in. No more Brissett. Going into Dallas, I took Dallas. I don't like Dak Prescott, as you know. I can't stand the guy. He actually pisses me off. But I had to take him because it's the Arizona Cardinals, and they're just not good. They're just not good.
Yeah. Give me Dallas.
You got Dallas. Okay.
Yep.
And last but not least, we're going to pick the Bills game. Kansas City visits Buffalo. They're 5-3. We're 5-2. And this is a big one.
Comment below. Comments. Let us know who you think's going to win this big game of the week. Bills, Chiefs. We all know this is what the NFL is made of. This is the Super Bowl. This will have the most views. Who's going to win this game?
I'm taking Buffalo at home. I always have to be clear. I'm being impartial. I am a huge Bills fan. I would pick the Bills every week, but I am trying to be as realistic as I can when it comes to picking games. I'm taking the Bills, because they're at home, coming off a huge win after a bye week, getting our defenseman back, getting a little bit healthier, feeling good. Josh is smiling again because his grandma told him to smile more. Kansas City, I have a feeling Pat Mahomes, and I said this earlier on NFL, the show we do with Dames, that I have this weird gut feeling that Pat Mahomes gets hurt this week. It's going to be dramatic. I took the Bills, obviously.
If what you're saying comes true, that would be devastating for the league.
Not for the league, for the Chiefs. You love that guy.
You know what?
I don't know. Why don't you just give him a big hug and kiss right to the screen? Just do it.
I tend to like people that people really dislike. And I understand. I understand it as a Buffalo Bills fan. You want to hate the best player of the other team. I get it. But I've come to that age where it's not about disliking it. It's about respecting it to me. And I can easily respect a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm tired of us building an organization around the Carolina Panthers. I'm tired of that. I wish we'd build our organization around the Kansas City Chiefs, much like New England has built their organization around us currently with the stuff they got going on and the players that they have brought in from Buffalo. See, in this game, this is what I want to happen. I do want us to win because I am a Bills fan. But I want us to win in the ugliest way possible. I want you to look at the end of the game, and if you weren't to watch the game, you'd see the box score, and you'd take a look at it, and you'd say, how the hell did the Bills win this game? Because if things go perfect, if things go all our way, and we win this game, we're going to walk out of that game and think, come the playoffs, we can beat that team. And I'm going to tell you right now, with the team we have right now, I don't think we can. And I think if the Chiefs' record was a little better, Andy Reid would play us. He would play us in this game, which he still might. I think the Bills win 27-24 because, as we know, since 2020, out of all the games combined against these two teams, there's a 1 point difference. 1 point, which means the game's probably going to be close. It's the game of the week.
Earlier in the game. our game of the week, second game of the week, the Pittsburgh game, I say. But we're gonna get ready to wrap it up here. I just want to real quickly again give a shout out to Lock 22 Productions. Subscribe to their channel too, LOCH 22 Productions. That's our buddy Dames. We do our show over there with him weekly. It's called NFL HELL. It's a fun time. It's a good show, and we're glad to be with him.
Who did you pick? Did you pick the Bills?
Well, who do you think I picked?
I think we win this game and lose to them in the playoffs. Do you want to know something else real quick? Because you said the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. And if they make it to the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to think that it's more fixed than ever. You want to know why? Because I'm looking at last year, and I'm looking at last year's team that made it to the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs in years, but they built a stadium, the Washington Redskins, or whatever you want to call them. And now if we go to the Super Bowl after all this and we built that stadium, I'm looking at it as, man, something fishy going on here.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I don't like seafood. I don't eat seafood, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of fish if that was the case, if we win the Super Bowl. I still think we're a Super Bowl contender. I still think we make it there. We find a way there. We're gritty. We're Buffalo. I think it's a Rust Belt. It could be a Bills Detroit or a Bills Green Bay. I'm not sure about the NFC. I'm not a huge NFC fan because I'm an AFC guy. I do watch Red Zone. I do know what's kind of going on. But for me to sit here and give you my professional gauge on who I think is going to go in the NFC, I don't fucking know.
If we win this game, what are the keys to victory?
Run the ball and stop Pat Mahomes. Don't let Pat Mahomes get out of the pocket. Collapse that damn pocket. Don't let him. If he gets out of the pocket and starts his little ballerina shit and wiggling his fingers, then we're in trouble. If you can put some pressure on him, get a turnover early, get points out of a turnover, put him on his ass, rattle him, and the crowd gets behind it. This is a big game. This is a really big game. I really believe that. I think the Bills are going to come out strong. I think they are going to make up for those 2 bad weeks. They already did by blowing out the Panthers, but now they got to come home and they got to show us at home that they can handle the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are starting to play now. Are the refs bouncing their way a little bit? Certainly. That's what they do. But in Buffalo, I think we beat up on them pretty good. I'd like to see it. I would love to be back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and tell you exactly, wow, I'm glad I said what I said. I mean, I just think Pat Mahomes gets hurt in this game. But why don't we wrap it up here, Tio, because we could talk about this all damn night. It's been great. I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, thanks for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff. Feel free to send us an email at info@rawlive.com if you want to be on the show, anything like that. But until then, everybody, thanks for being here. First and foremost, go Bills. Secondly, enjoy your games.
True NFL is brought to you by Raw Live Productions. If you have any questions about the show, you can email us at info@rawlive.com.